Being very entitled and controlling, narcissists have no difficulty stepping all over your personal boundaries. So that's why I put together an extensive video class called This Is Me. It has 25 videos, written documents, guided questions. I'm going to teach you how to have healthy boundaries. There's a link below, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. I want you to think about some of the times that you've tried to say no to a narcissist, only to learn that there was going to be a high price to pay for you simply not agreeing with that person. Has that ever happened to you? And I'm guessing that most of you would say, oh, I don't have enough fingers and toes to count. It happens constantly. Narcissists cannot stand when you say no. They don't know what to do with that. A sign of a healthy relationship is in acknowledging that each person has the privilege to be unique. We each have a different set of skills or preferences or opinions or priorities. We manage time and our other kinds of issues in life in a different kind of way. But narcissists, when they approach relationships, they say, forget all of that. It's all about me. And they have a fixed agenda. They want you to conform. And then when you say, no, that's not where I am, then they come unhinged. Now, I've got some testimonials here that I want to read to you to give you an idea of what we're talking about and see if any of these resonate with your experiences. One person says, I'd explain to my partner why I wanted to do things differently, and each time I was shut down hard. Just being me was enough to set him off. Another person says, my parents, both of them, had tight rules about how I should be a parent. And I'm 38 years old, and when I said I'm fine with my parenting style, they'd give me a list of picky things they didn't like. What's crazy is they were very disengaged when I was a kid. So if this adult child says, no, that's not what I'm going to do, I have different plans, they come unglued. Another person says, if I ever disagree with my sister, she rages. I'm amazed that she is so wheels off when I don't follow her stupid advice. Another person says, my boss has to be right. I'm customer focused, and it drives him crazy when I don't conduct business like him. We're not talking about rocket science. I just want to know how to connect, and he doesn't. But he still thinks that I need to be his mini-me. Now, I imagine you all could come up with all sorts of illustrations of your own, but you get the idea that when you have that word no, and you say it, and you can even try to be polite with it, the narcissist can come unhinged. Now, basically, what we're talking about here today is about having and respecting personal boundaries. Each person has the right, or maybe I can say it a little bit stronger, each person has the responsibility to define oneself and then to live inside that definition of who oneself would be in a clean kind of way. That's what we're talking about. And when we have boundaries, we can still have fluidity and flexibility, and we can give and receive feedback. But ultimately, inside the concept of boundaries, we each need to know that we have the privilege to say either yes or no. That's the respect for the individual person. In other words, in relationships, the freedom to be you is crucial. Now, I want you to pick up on a major insight about narcissists that will help you understand what's going on when you have said no and the narcissist just cannot deal with it. Let's keep in mind that in the narcissist's mind, they want you to let go of who you are and bow to them. That's their starting point. And if you don't go along with that starting point, you're going to be on the receiving end of lots of persuasion. And by the way, when they come at you with a lot of persuasion and insistence, it implies a form of desperation on their part. When you say no, you're going to be invalidated, and that's a virtual guarantee. When you say no, you're going to witness their stubbornness that defies logic. Sometimes they can't really explain in a real good way why they think differently from you, but the fact you said no, that's enough for them, and they'll just go into stubborn mode. When you say no, you'll realize they have an almost complete and thorough inability to listen or to hear. And then your no is going to prompt them to go into punishment or manipulation mode designed to get you in line. The narcissist's goal is to break you down and cause you to question who you are and then superimpose their identity onto you. So that little word no is highly threatening, and it's important for you to understand that's what's going on. Now, just speaking on a personal level, I'd rather not be a hard no person. I like being agreeable. I want to be a team player and pliable, and I'm guessing that many of you are the same way. But agreeableness, and by the way, you can be agreeable in the midst of disagreement. Agreeableness is so contrary to a narcissist because they see themselves as the only one whose opinion matters. You don't have the right to say no to me. That's what they think. And as a result, they're unable to be steady when you differ. They're highly prone toward anger and defensiveness when you say no. And I know that you've experienced a lot of rage and anger when you've dared to have a different opinion. They see themselves, they don't see this, but they're desperately inept when you say no. And when I say inept, they illustrate, I don't know what to do with you when you're different from me. I've never learned coping skills and blending skills. That's something that's just not on the inside of me. They see your no as an invitation to either A, become super controlling or authoritarian, or B, a good excuse for them to go into high rebellion mode and non-cooperation mode. Any way you look at it, it's not going to end well. So when you have the audacity to say no to a narcissist and you know that you're going to get these kind of reactions, how are you going to respond? Let's keep in mind that the narcissist's inability to hear your no is all about their need for tight answers. Their inability to hear your no is not about you. And that being the case, I'm hoping you can approach them with what I refer to as a certain emotional detachment. You can have a sense that says, I'm not going to be so pulled into you in a codependent pattern that I can't be distinct. When you say no, something much bigger is being triggered on the inside of that narcissist. And basically what we can say is narcissists are carrying a great amount of unresolved pain. It's like they have this bucket they carry with around everywhere they go. I'm in pain, and whenever you say something that reminds me of my pain, I'm going to just unload all of my torment onto you. When a narcissist pushes you to deny yourself and to conform to them, usually it's because that's what was done to them in their deep history. They have a deep history of having to suppress and hide the real self. And so what they want to do is they want to perpetuate what was done to them. And then they're shocked when you don't go along with it. But it illustrates that that's that ineptitude. That's their coping skills that have just not been well established at all. And in the meantime, they simply can't allow you to just be you. I'm hoping, though, that when you see this for what it is, and you realize that no doesn't mean that you're a difficult person, it just means that you're who you are, I'm hoping that you can decide, well, I'm going to celebrate my own distinctions. I hope that you can do that. And when you say no to the narcissist, what it actually means is you're saying yes to yourself. It doesn't mean you're being a contrarian. It just means I want to be true to who I am. I have no particular need to apologize for that. And by the way, we're also going to say turnabout's fair play. When a narcissist says no to you, Like, okay, you have that right. You have that responsibility to stand up for yourself, just as I do. And in your healthiness, you could even go further and say, when you tell me no, I'm quite willing to hear you and learn why you think and feel that way. I hope that you would do the same in reverse. My guess is it's not going to work out in a coordinated way like that. But we're just going to basically say, again, each person gets to be who he or she happens to be. A narcissist's inability to accept your no illustrates how threatened they are, how fearful they are of being challenged, and it shows you that they have a very, very damaged ego, one that says, I can't handle anything except what's inside my tightly scripted little groove here. And you're not doing what I need to do so that I can manage the pain that I really never have learned how to manage from the inside out. I'm hoping in your response, you can decide, when I tell you no, all I'm doing is I'm saying I'm devoted to authenticity. I'm devoted to my reality about who I am, and I'd like you to join me in being an authentic person. Would you do that? And the narcissist is going to say, no. Okay, you can say no, but I say yes to who I am. Now, I hope that videos such as this can give you some good food for thought and give you a good idea about what you're dealing with. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We're going to keep more videos coming your way, and hopefully in a cumulative kind of way, these videos can be a real good educational tool for you. So please hit the subscribe button, and I'm so pleased when you allow me to be on your journey with you. If you've not, if you have a need, I would encourage you to seek therapy. You know that I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. There's a link below that will take you to their website. And it's just a matter of filling out a few forms and then being able to select a therapist that can help you. If you have the need, I know that many of you would be interested in that. Please seek the help that would assist you down the road. In addition, I have my therapeutic courses, and these are each course has multiple videos and written documents and guided questions. We have Ready, Set, Connect about making good connections with one another. This is me about establishing your boundaries, free to be, finding yourself despite the controllers. We have my webinars that have already been presented. You can still purchase those. And we also have my podcast. We have our website with many articles and my books. We have lots of resources for you. Well, you know what? When you say no to a narcissist, it doesn't mean that you're being the awful person that they want to accuse you of. You're saying yes to yourself. And that's not something you have to apologize for. So stay true to who you are, keep your boundaries, and then when the narcissist can't deal with it, they're illustrating their own immaturity from the inside out. That's where they are. But in the meantime, I'm hoping you can say, you know, I'm going to say yes here on Team Healthy to dignity and respect and civility. And we can do that even when we differ from one another. And that's the beauty of being able to learn how to blend and harmonize. And in doing so, I think that you'll see it positions you to be a person of peace.